right, new this morning, frenemies once more. President Trump taking a new swipe at his former friend and advisor Elon Musk in a post that sent Tesla's stock tumbling before the markets even opened today. The president wrote, "I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck," those words in all caps, over the past 5 weeks. The billionaire Musk tweeted out a picture of a countdown clock saying it's basically, it's "no one has been arrested o'clock again." That's in regards to Jeffrey Epstein, after, of course, Elon Musk announced plans to start a third political party called the America Party. With us now, CNN senior political commentators David Urban and Van Jones. Van, first about Elon Musk and a third party. What can he actually win here, or is this just about making others lose?
Well, I'm very curious about this. His strategy apparently is to see if he can pick up 5 or 6 seats in the House and 1 or 2 in the Senate, which, if things stay divided like this, would give him an awful lot of power, an awful lot of leverage. Now, what Senate seats he's going to get is kind of hard to figure out. But you do have some House races and some places where there's enough discontent with both parties, enough discontent with the status quo, that you might be able to pick up a couple of seats. And a few seats in a closely divided House could give him some leverage. But it's a long shot right now.
David Urban, you got tentacles everywhere. I mean, how worried is the White House about this? How worried are you as you look at your home turf in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, John, as Van alludes to, this isn't about winning hundreds of seats. This is about winning a seat or two. And when you're an individual who has several hundred billion, not million, but 700 billion that you can spend on these races, if you choose to, it becomes a real problem. But listen, I would just point out one thing. How is President Michael Bloomberg doing these days? Because remember, he spent $500 million of his own money on a race. So money isn't dispositive, right? You have to have good candidates. You have to have good issues. And listen, I think that Donald Trump managed to put together, if you look at the coalition, Van knows this very well, if you look at the coalition that Donald Trump put together to win, to become president, it's basically a third party. You put together, blacks, Hispanics, gay people, straight people, college educated, non-college educated. It is its own third party. So I'm not quite sure that Matt Brousseau and the folks in the White House political shop are quaking in their boots, but it's definitely a distraction.
Can I ask you both about this Jeffrey Epstein tweet from Elon Musk? David, first to you. I mean, what do you think he's doing here, poking the bear again on that? And also, there is this news overnight, Axios and others reporting that the Department of Justice is saying, definitively Epstein killed himself, that there won't be any other further, arrests or prosecutions here, that there's no client list. And there are people in the conservative world who are like, what? We thought you were going to tell us stuff.
Yeah, listen, I think it's a whole lot to do about nothing. Lives in those dark crevices of the underbelly of the internet, where rumors and terrible things exist like this. And I have a great deal of faith that the former Trump Justice Department under Attorney General Barr did a very good job of looking at it, peeling back the onion and finding out there's no more there than is already there. Why the entire client list or whatever, the black book has not been made public is beyond me. But do I think that Donald Trump was a part of any of this? Absolutely not. Conspiracy closed?
Oh, I just think that Musk has a constituency he's got to play to, which is the bottom feeders on X, and that's what he's doing.
CNN senior data analyst Harry Enten is here. Let's talk parties, Harry. This new party that Elon Musk says he has founded, what's his base?
Yeah, this entire thing makes very little sense to me. It makes about as much sense as selling sand in the desert. What are we talking about here? What is the size of Elon Musk's base? Well, I calculate it to be about 4%, just 4%, 1, 2, 3, 4% of all voters. What is that base made up of? Well, it's those who view Elon Musk favorably and the GOP unfavorably. We're talking just about 4% of all voters out there, because it turns out most of the people who like Elon Musk already like the GOP already. That is, they already have a party for him. In my mind, there is just no base for Elon Musk's third party in the electorate, at least initially speaking.
All right. When we talk about third parties at the presidential level, the candidate who most recently had the most success in terms of getting the most votes was Ross Perot. So how does Elon Musk compare to Ross Perot?
Yeah, we'll go all the way back in the time machine to 1992. And we will note Americans with an unfavorable view, i.e., essentially that Musk starts off with far more against him than Ross Perot ever did. Americans with an unfavorable view of Ross Perot was only 14% back in 1992. Now, the vast majority of Americans are already against Elon Musk, 58%. So what we're essentially saying here is that Elon Musk is going to go into an electorate that already dislikes him, is already against him, while there were far more people who are open to the idea of a Ross Perot third-party or independent candidacy as compared to an Elon Musk third party in which the vast majority of Americans have already sided against the man from Tesla.
So Elon Musk says he's going to play, forget, the presidential election is years away. The congressional election next year, he says he wants to play there. What's the history of third-party candidates in congressional races?
Horrible, awful, terrible, terrible, terrible. What are we talking about here? All right, elected to Congress from a third party since 1970, just 0.2% of all winners were either third party, independent, or write-in. We're only talking about 24 out of over 13,000 winners. The bottom line is third-party independents, they just don't succeed. Donald Trump is right when he's talking about the fact that third parties, simply put, don't work.
I will leave with this one coda, though. When you're talking about 4% here, it may not be about winning the race, but 4% has been enough to sway an election back and forth.
Ralph Nader in 2000, as we were talking about, he could spoil it for the GOP, but he probably can't win it himself.
Harriet, thank you.
Thank
very
you, my friend.
much. Sarah.
All right, for more on this, I am joined now by Democratic Representative Josh Riley of New York. First of all, just what are your thoughts on Musk's announcement that he is going to be forming a third party? To be clear, there are other parties, the Green Party, the Libertarian Party, that already exist. But what are your thoughts on him as a multi-billionaire putting his name forward and saying, hey, we're going to have another party in existence?
Yeah, well, it's good to be with you. I'm talking to you from the basement of our house in Ithaca, and if you can hear my 2-year-old crying, you know what his views on this are. Mine, look, I get the frustration that people have with both political parties. You talk to folks across upstate New York. I was just out at Highland Park for the 4th of July, and people are really frustrated because they look and they see a Democratic Party that has become weak and out of touch and condescending, and they look at what just happened in Washington with the Republican Party, and they see a party that's beholden to special interests, in the pockets of big oil, in the pockets of all the corporate PACs, and you look around and you think nobody's fighting for you. And so my approach to this job, I can't speak to Elon Musk, and the feuds between him and Trump, nobody really cares about that stuff around here. But my approach to this job has been to show up in places that Democrats often don't go and show how the work we do can actually make their lives better, whether that's lowering utility prices or lowering grocery prices.
The man behind Doge now has a new mission for himself, and that is to create a third party somehow. It's going to be called the America Party, and the spark is him being upset, allegedly, about the big, beautiful bill. I have to be honest, I can't think of a person who is more unpopular in a lot of ways. I'm being very generous here, politically. Yeah. But Isaac, who?
Look, the last successful third party was the Republican Party. It started in 1856. It got a presidential candidate elected in 1860. It is a hard thing to do. That said, Musk has a lot of money, and you are right about his political unpopularity, but many
and by
people...
that, I mean Democrats are
for sure.
very much not interested,
yes.
And now perhaps he's rocked the boat with his Trump
I don't think
support.
perhaps. Definitely. That said, many people doubted that he would actually follow through with the spending that he promised he would do for Trump, and he did. Many people doubted that he would be a really effective force in Doge cuts, and he was. So let's see what happens here.
Guys.
Yeah, I mean, hearing him speak about why he's doing this, I mean, he talks about, that there's the political middle doesn't have a party, and that is a fact. I mean, going out and talking to folks, increasingly people don't identify with either party. They look at both parties as out of touch, not actually helping Americans. Poll after poll shows that. Going out and talking to people, you hear it. So he certainly is identifying that, but again, with his unpopularity, with how difficult it is to establish that party, I think it's going to be
certainly
certainly
And you don't have to win.
uphill.
You can certainly alter the future of an election.
I was going to say, you can play the spoiler in some sense, perhaps, and especially if you're willing to throw millions and millions, billions of dollars into these sorts of things, and he certainly has no shortage of that. My question is, what is the constituency here? Because, as you mentioned, Democrats aren't in favor, and Republicans are sticking with Trump. They seemingly aren't being swayed by him. Is this a fiscally conservative, socially moderate part? Like, what is
Yes.
the image here?